Wagwan YouTube family. Yeah, man. I'm me, man. Mr. B. And boy, traumatized again, you know. This morning, news kind of hit me early out, one of the 9 o'clock bells that gunmen held up a Beryllium Security detail that was on course to a Jamaica National outlet, money machine outlet in the Portmore Pines Plaza. And of course, weekend just done, so them I go there for replenish the thing. And gunmen open fire. 3 security guard lie down flat. One died on the spot. And the other 2 were taken to hospital. I understand one of the security personnel included a woman who was, suffered multiple gunshot injuries and is in hospital in a critical but stable condition. I think the third security officer was treated and sent home. But the issue that bother me in terms of this is, beryllium is a sort of a replacement operation, if my information is correct, that now handles these cash machines that the banks and other near bank institutions who operate these cash machines, they are responsible for loading them. A reasonably nice business concept, as it removes the exposure from the owners of these facilities. But the problem is that it transfers this to the guards themselves. Just my quick research showed me that beryllium in the last year has had a fair amount of hits. In fact, too many hits that I would be comfortable with as a consumer. And in a number of instances, these hits resulted in the injury or loss of life of personnel. And one of the first things that hit me was that these guys are using these ordinary vehicles. The vehicle will mark up beryllium, and them don't seem to appreciate that the gunman them boy will fire them gun there. No, so them vehicle are not armor plated. And so it's nothing for them, because we in an environment where them gun boy and have no regard for anybody's life, right? And so a couple of things that jump out at me, and as a man who was in a business, a high cash volume business, and had to deal with the transporting of my money, and in those days, I think I used a company called Dirk Security, and they actually turned up at my business place with armored vehicles. These guys are carrying a piss pot load of money, and they might carry in some ordinary little van and thing. And what is worse is that the van they mark up with the beryllium detail around it, so everybody knows say a money them come for collect. And for some reason, the people who are run the business don't seem to appreciate that the people, the gunman them out there, the gun boy them who them a tangle with, no have no respect for nobody life. So once them decide say them will lick one of them vehicle, you look out for some heavy loss of life, because them not care, right? So all you have the people them are traveling in them little van here. All you want is 2 bike man or somebody run them off the road and put on some gunshot on them, because them man them not impervious, as was the case today to gunshot. There are so many instances. I've seen at least half a dozen cases where there's one recently in a Jackson Road in a East Kingston, where the man them lick them and take over $20 million, and I think they killed one of the guards on site. There are a couple of other instances, and we won't get into that detail. My question is, are the owners of this company really serious about the protection of their workers? Because if you're gonna put people in a position like this, where you are exposed, a bulletproof vest and a sidearm or even a long gun is not enough protection. A detail like this needed at least 4 or 5 people, right? And you have to make sure, say, that the people them scope out the area. Clearly, this is a failure of the security operation, and it has resulted in the loss of a life, with the potential for more people to lose them life. The other question it forced me to ask is, who look after the the families that are left behind when you have situations like this where the guard dead upon the work? What kind of insurance is in place? Because this clearly in any place in the world else is a high risk job. In a Jamaica is a quadruple high risk because you deal with criminals who have no regard for life, none whatsoever. The mode of operation tell you them don't care. They're gonna overpower these security guards with heavier firepower, sustained gunfire, because their objective is just singular, to drive the fear of God and everybody else, the security officers, and to take the money. And them now left without the money. In the last 3 or 4 robberies like this, is over 60 million the boy them gone with. And them not care, Portmore seem to be a special space where there's so many. There are other security companies that get leaked in a Portmore, and the approach is the same, the result is the same. And so I am curious as to the owners of this Beryllium. I see where them look for expand and go all over the Caribbean and so on. And nothing wrong with that. But my question that I ask is, what kind of provisions are you making for the security of your workers? Because this is, you couldn't pay me enough money to do them kind of work, right? And the question I want to ask is, them people are dead and left, them young, picking them and family, who look after them? If this security guard is a sole breadwinner in them house, what happened to him family? What kind of insurance coverage is in there? Because the man dead already, So the question I have to ask is, what provision is in there for the people and family? This is not a case where they have police up on the spot and so on. If it could it be prevented, me don't know. But that are the security people for deal with that. The point though is, if you send people upon them kind of jaunt with so much money, you need better security coverage. Me used to be heavily involved in the transport of my money go to the bank, and eventually me get over to, I think it was Dirk Security, as I said earlier, and them use armored vehicle them on the drive, and usually when them come is 4 or 5 people, and the man them make sure them in our community was noted for high level of gun criminal activity. And so you see the security man them tactically map out the place before they make a move. And I am just wondering if a lot of these loss of lives isn't being caused by just failure of security tactics. Them boy know, it appears to me anyway, that them know. So the security guard them at a certain level, them training and dead. Who know? I wonder if I have some inside work now go on. But the bottom line is, the machine they out on the outside. And so, the boy them know say, them all come clear the machine now, come put in cash in it. And so, easy pickings, We have a security crisis in Jamaica, a murder, criminal and gun crisis. And the people them who are deal with security have to take a much more thoughtful, clearly thought out process when you deal with them kind of thing. Because at the end of the day, our families are going to suffer when them boy, because them boy are not care, There was a incident in Montego Bay a couple years ago where, according to the police, the man them fire over 2,000 rounds of ammunition in the space about 5 minutes, which tell us that them boy, them now come with no like a kaba, them are come for do some serious damage. And, thing. You can't have security guard that carry so much money in an ordinary vehicle, and the vehicle them are no armor lined vehicle Two little ordinary gunshot fly through them like paper. And we still have security guard out there. I drive up and down with people money and them lives at risks and the management of the company. You know, all you get up and I do is offer condolences to the family. But I like you want to say, what I have to say about this, my YouTube family. Give me your feedback because boy, it hurt me hard. Bad. To see what o'clock a strike, you know. And of course, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, it's a good time to subscribe, you know. And more importantly, you know, if you like the video, hit the like button, share with your friend them and thing, and tell them about the channel. Yeah, you know. But subscribe, like, share, right? And let me get your feedback in the comment section there. Let me hear what you think or what me I think about this thing, because this gone so bad. I mean, see a man, Mr. B. Respect.